The British Foreign Secretary says he backs up US evidence that the Syrian government has used chemical weapons and is calling for the international community to do more to stop further attacks. It comes as US officials, including Senator John McCain, called on Western governments to provide military assistance to rebel fighters in the war-torn country.
The human reality of what the so-called red line looks like. These images from a hospital in Aleppo claim to show the aftermath of what the US now confirms. Chemical weapons are being used by the Assad regime in Syria. America's conclusion forces its own hand to act. So far there's little detail on what they'll do as government forces appear to be consolidating their position. The battle for Syria could be decided in its largest city, Aleppo. Government forces are reported to be preparing for a major offensive on the rebel-held parts of the city. The build-up comes a week after Syrian forces, backed by Hezbollah, captured the town of Qusayr. The Syrian military is now trying to clear rebel-held areas around Homs. Assad's forces would then be in the ideal position to recapture Idlib province and to control vital supply lines from Turkey. Republican Senator John McCain says the US now has a green light to stop this happening.
We need to give heavy weapons to the rebels, both anti-tank and anti-air. We need to establish a safe zone within Syria. We need to establish a no-fly zone. We need to neutralize Bashar Assad's air assets, which is the overwhelming advantage on the battlefield that Bashar Assad has today.
The White House says it will decide what to do on its own timetable. So far, they haven't shied away from the president's strident words last year.
We have been very clear to the Assad regime, but also to other players on the ground, that a red line for us is we start seeing a whole bunch of chemical weapons moving around or being utilized.
While President Obama may not be getting much pressure domestically to act on Syria, what's clear is that any big injection of American boots on the ground in Syria would not sit well with the American public. So the administration has to balance that with its next move having some impact on a formidable Assad army that appears to be growing in strength. It has to, as they put it, be enough to change the game. The UN has been clear that increasing brutality is coming from both sides, which makes America's next move all the more difficult. Amanda Walker, Sky News, Washington.